All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour. When the Taliban stormed to power in Kabul in August 2021, they claimed that they would be different. But it turns out that Taliban 2.0 is not very different from the way Taliban had ruled 20 years ago in the 1990s. The group has now, remember, been condemned globally for its inhumane and gory punishments which are meted out in public. And despite the repeated promises that it had made that it was now going to be a modern and a better version of itself, the Taliban seems to have gone back on all of those promises. In just the last few months, there have been at least 20 separate incidents of floggings that have been reported across Afghanistan. Now, all of them are pretty horrific, to say the least. People, including women, were punished for not following the group's archaic laws. And these are videos that are now going viral on social media. A woman was whipped by the Taliban officials on Friday. The reason is that she went to the market without a male guardian accompanying her. Now, this, remember, is not an isolated incident. Just last week, 3 women and 11 men were flogged on the orders of an Afghan court. And that was after they were found guilty of crimes such as theft and other moral crimes. Many of these crimes included stuff such as adultery and drinking alcohol. Now, the month of November, the Taliban Supreme Leader Habibullah Akhundzada had ordered judges to fully enforce the aspects of Sharia law, including public executions, stoning and flogging. And ever since then, social media has been awash with videos and pictures of the Taliban fighters meting out these punishments and floggings to the accused in public for various offences. All right, now to give us more insights in terms of how all of this, of course, is playing out in Taliban and how the rest of the world, of course, needs to look at it. We're being joined in by Lynn O'Donnell, who's an author and also a journalist, and she's joining us live on this broadcast. Now, Lynn, this is something which the world had expected would happen. The Taliban, when they stormed to power last year, claimed that they are going to be different this time round. But from the videos that are now doing the rounds in the social media, it appears that these public floggings and also the punishments that are being meted out by the Taliban are a clear reminder of exactly the manner in which the Taliban had ruled Afghanistan in the middle of the 1990s when they had seized power. So what has changed?
Well, what's changed is that the Taliban have impunity. When they came to power in 1996, it was on the back of a really long and brutal civil war, and they were welcomed, and they rolled out what became a very sort of medieval, if you like, way of ruling quite slowly. This time, in the peace talks before they took over Afghanistan last August, they had a lot of Western intellectuals, academics, diplomats supporting them and speaking up for them. Even leaders of Western military organisations said they're different now. Anyone who knew the Taliban knew that that wasn't the case. And as a matter of fact, I think it would probably be fair to say that they're worse, because they're getting a lot of support still from a cabal of academics who are giving them advice on public relations and how to look as if they are governing the country, but also from international organisations like the United Nations and the US, which is leading the international community and sends tens of millions of dollars in cash into Afghanistan every week. And this is purportedly to help alleviate humanitarian despair, but it's channeled through the Taliban, and up to 30% of it is being taken by the Taliban. They're getting away with it, and so they're gradually, it's been 15 months, they're rolling out the nature of the governance that they have always planned, I think. And what we're seeing with the public floggings and the whippings is really just now following on from arbitrary detentions, disappearances and extrajudicial killings that we know are going on and have been since day one.
Absolutely. Now, is there anything that the international community can actually do to try and help out the people in Afghanistan? This time round, not a single government around the world has recognized the Taliban government, but still the Taliban administrators are able to virtually go about their jobs with impunity. Can some sanctions, which only specifically target the Talibani leaders, be imposed?
I don't think the will exists. It could happen, and the international aid, food aid and other things that people need like medicines could certainly be channeled into Afghanistan in a way that avoids the Taliban channels. It's being done by small indigenous charities, but the United Nations is working with the Taliban. It is enabling the Taliban. For instance, on Monday, December the 5th, the United Nations office in Afghanistan will be flying resident ambassadors to Kandahar to meet with the leaders of the Taliban, who are the ones who are making sure that Sharia law, in their own interpretation of it, is being applied. As you mentioned, Supreme Leader Haibatullah Akhundzada has decreed that his word is law, and any laws that were passed under the previous government, under the Republic, no longer apply. I think it's not, we're not far away from seeing severed hands hanging in public markets as we did between 1996 and 2001. They're getting away with it. And I think it's going to get worse.
Absolutely, indeed. Thank you very much, indeed, Lynn O'Donnell, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.